television. Right now, you're looking at a very iconic scene and film. Well, it is for me, at least. Anyway, Mean Girls. And funny enough, it was actually shot in Toronto. We're standing outside the location right now in Convocation Hall at University of Toronto. And I have Timothy Bronte with here, who created an Instagram site to make this all so easy, where we can find our favorite movies and where they were shot in Toronto. So Timothy, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, before COVID, I was a big movie fan, but like during COVID, I obviously started watching more movies like everybody else.
Everyone is glued to the TV.
Exactly, and then like I just started seeing how much Toronto just kept coming up in movies, and I was like, I know this place, or I want to know where this place is. So went out and started documenting on Instagram where they are, which is obviously a part of this bigger idea of like an interactive map where we can plot where all the movie scenes are shot all over Toronto.
That's really cool, because you're saying, like, you're obviously not from here, you're originally from the UK, so when you came to Toronto, did you know that this was a film kind of destination, or was this something that you kind of learned because you've been here now for 11 years?
No, I remember once I was watching Kick-Ass in the movies, and then actually the cinema I was sitting in was in the film, and I was like, that looks exactly where I am right now, even though it was supposed to be New York.
Very cool. And so we were talking about Mean Girls earlier, so tell me when you discovered it, when you were watching the movie, and you're like, that's U of T, that's Toronto.
Yeah, I think it's at the end of the movie you kind of realize that it's Toronto. Like pretty much during the film, it's a lot of like inside high schools, which obviously I couldn't tell, but as soon as it was here, you could tell it was all filmed here. Then when I started doing some research, like all of it was filmed here, all different schools all over the GTA.
It's funny because I didn't even know that this was a thing until like you pointed it out. And same with RoboCop, right?
Yeah, RoboCop, the new one, that was filmed just over there down one of these alleys. Yeah, it was backdrop. It's supposed to be Detroit, but it's actually Toronto for it all.
Right now, I would say, like when you're watching movies, are you finding yourself you're going to IMDb and kind of looking at these things, or how are you coming across this information?
It's a handful of things. Like sometimes we look at the IMDb, sometimes it's like personal blogs, and sometimes I just, like this one for example, I didn't need any help. Like you just see it and you just know.
You just recognize it.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time roaming the city, so like there's a lot of the time I just notice things myself and then use Google Maps to confirm it.
Yeah. And so you have a bigger plan for this too, so tell me about that, because this is an Instagram page that you started, you're saying, during COVID. But you have a bigger plan for all of this.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be launching in the next week or so. It's called MovieLocate, and it's going to be an interactive map where people can sign up. They can add photos to locations to prove they've been there. They can add favorites. They can add additional locations, and they can just add content about it also. Then you can look at your area, say Leslieville, and you can see all the parts from movies where they were filmed and at what point, so you can actually go back and have a look.
And it's great because I've never heard of anything like this before. And I mean, I have done this in LA because, of course, that's like a staple tour. I did the whole cheesy thing, the double-decker bus, the look at everything, the homes, the whole nine. And it was so much fun. It's something, and even if you live here, I think it's something fun to do, especially right now, right?
Yeah, I think out of COVID there'll be a lot of movie tourism where people will go see the movies, the places they've seen the movies during COVID. Like they need to be out there looking around so they can go to these locations.
Absolutely, great. Timothy, we're going to talk more movie talk when we come back. Things movies and iconic movies that are actually shot in Toronto. And we have a couple. Timothy Bramble started an Instagram page, MovieLocate, where it makes it easy for you to look at the movie and say, wow, that's filmed right in our backyard. So what are we standing in front of now, and what movies has this scene been seen in,
so
Timothy?
This one's been used in lots of films, but more famously it's in Cocktail with Tom Cruise.
So this is an older movie, so tell us what the movie's about.
Yeah, this is where Tom Cruise comes back from the army, can't get a job, and starts bartending, and then just how he rides up his career as a cocktail maker. ends up in Jamaica and then back here again. But yeah, the scene he comes running down here all the way to Knox College because he arose in college at one point. So that's cool. But more interestingly, this one played a backdrop for Harvard in Good Will Hunting. So
there
Matt Damon was here. And, yeah.
See, Toronto's at Harvard status. That's impressive.
Exactly. I think it's a beautiful building, right? I think it passes as Harvard pretty well.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I've never been there. Have you ever seen Harvard?
Yeah, I've been around Harvard.
And what would you say? The comparison's pretty close.
The brick's pretty cool, and the age of it, yeah.
Yeah. That's such an iconic movie. Gosh.
And then there's also the Hulk. The Incredible Hulk was filmed here.
The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Talk about a transformation. Like, it's so cool to see that scene like side by side. That I hope we have the image pulled up right now, because it's amazing what you can do with effects to make it look dark and creepy, and it looks so different.
Yeah, I think even in the shot you're showing, it's like It's like a glass gazebo thing on top of a building, which doesn't even exist. The building exists, but they've put the glass thing on afterwards just for the movie.
After like looking at all these films, so how many have you done, by the way, where locations have you established so far?
For the map feature I'm working on,
yes.
we've got over 1,000 for Toronto.
Over 1,000 for Toronto. And so what was the biggest surprise for you coming across these locations, Timothy, that like you said, like were there a lot of add-ons or built-ins to kind of disguise where it is?
Yeah, they do that a lot, but my favorite part is, so like I was doing the Fly at the weekend, and it takes me to Liberty Village, which was Liberty Village in the 80s. So it's like completely different. It's like dirt roads, wow. Abandoned buildings, and it's really nice to do the comparisons between those two when like something's so drastically different.
Absolutely. And so where can people find more information if they want to check out all of these incredible scenes, maybe go for a stroll, take a look, and appreciate what we have here?
So for now, you can check it out on Instagram under MovieLocate, but then as of next week, you can check out the website, which will be MovieLocate.com.
And it's very impressive because Timothy here is a web developer. This is like a passion project of yours, right?
Yeah, it came out because I've got a team and it came out of like COVID. We're a bit slow on work, so we're like, hey, what can we do to keep ourselves busy? And we got into building this interactive map with like user profiles and things like that. So it's been fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that with me.
worries.
That was a lot of fun. Again, check it out, MovieLocate on Instagram. And don't go anywhere. We have lots more BT when we come back right after the break.